Rick Santorum tells CNN to give illegals their address. Watch how they respond. By that conservative girl politics, U.S. News from AdWorldNews.com. On Sunday, Rick Santorum had a message for the CNN pundits who are so adamantly opposed to President Donald Trump's immigration policy. Give illegals your own address if you want them in this country so badly. Watch as they frantically try to come up with excuses for why the suggestion that they personally help immigrant families won't work. It's almost laughable. Notice, because they're spewing this, you might as well give them a dose of their own medicine. In response to the current media hoopla surrounding immigration, because once they say this is what we're talking about, everybody has to talk about it now, but we're going to do it for now and then forget about it unless something interesting comes up. President Donald Trump is scheduled to meet with the entire Republican caucus on Capitol Hill Tuesday to push them towards passing 2 immigration bills in the coming days. A House leadership aide confirmed to the Washington Examiner the meeting will take place at 5:30 Tuesday evening and come on the heels of a tumultuous end of the week for the White House's messaging on immigration reform. Speaker Paul Ryan, the other traitor in arms there, had originally planned to bring a bill authored by Representative Bob Goodlatte and one authored by GOP leadership to the floor for votes next week, yet those plans were thrown into limbo following comments made by the president Friday morning. Trump said during an impromptu interview with Fox News that he would not support the more moderate one, the bill authored by Ryan. You see, he tried to pull a fast one, but Trump is faster than you, Paul boy. The White House later clarified Trump's comment, claiming that POTUS would support both bills as long as they put forward his previously touted 4 pillars of immigration: reduce chain migration, $16 billion for construction of a border wall, and end the visa lottery system, and provide a pathway to citizenship for up to 1.8 million dreamers who came to the U.S. illegally as children, sourced the Washington Examiner. Ahead of Trump's meeting on Tuesday, former Republican presidential candidate and Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum was on CNN's State of the Union on Sunday to discuss the current immigration crisis. The outspoken conservative is a regular contributor at the unabashedly liberal network, where he proposed a challenge to the panelists of pundits who are so opposed to the president's immigration policy. Give your home address to immigrants if you're so worried about family separations. Absolutely. This is what I would say to all of you, Santorum said during the debate. You want America to be open? Fine. I would argue, give your address out and tell the people who come to this country, you can come to my house. You can come to my house and stay here as long as you want. I will pay for your education. I will pay for your health care. I will pay for your food. Let's not forget that. And everything else that goes with it. Let's see a little bit of it.
I thought I'd take a little bit of digression here to discuss some concerns raised by our church friends about separation of families. And I would cite you to the Apostle Paul and his clear and wise command in Romans 13 to obey the laws of the government, because God has ordained the government for his purposes.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions using scripture to justify the new Trump administration policy.
Yeah, maybe he should use a little scripture. Yeah. Look at that face. Look at his concerned face.
Prosecuting all of those who attempt to enter the country illegally, and thus prosecuting them all, and thus separating hundreds, if not thousands, more children from their parents. My panel here is with me. Senator Santorum, I believe that you're supportive of the administration's policy on
Absolutely.
this. Do you agree with the invocation of Scripture to defend it?
Careful, Rick. It's Sunday.
Yeah, no, I'm very careful about this. I mean, there are many religious leaders who object to this policy, and I certainly understand why.
The leaders of your church, the Catholic Church, are very upset about it.
It's gut-wrenching to see these images and to understand what's going on.
Oh, he's a
At
politician.
the same time, you have to, governmental officials have to look back and look at the consequences of what the law is. And the reality is, as Jeff Sessions has said repeatedly, the law is in place to make sure that we treat people fairly under the law and we have a deterrent effect. The reality is that everybody who's going to be disagreeing with me on this panel is sounding very compassionate. Oh, we need to take all these people in. We need to take all these people in. I just say that there's a consequence to that. I mean, if you say we're going to take these people in, more people will come, and more people will come, and we'll have a bigger and bigger problem at the border. You'll be putting more children at risk of a 2,000-mile trek through Mexico, which is not an easy thing to do. I mean, there are real consequences to this, and this is what I would say to all of you. You want America to be open, fine. I would argue, give your addresses out and tell the people who come to this country, you can come to my house. You can stay here. And you can come to my house and you can stay here as long as you want. I'll pay for your education. I'll pay for your...
That's not a false.
No,
yes it is.
What
Nobody is saying that we want... No, let me say this. Nobody is saying... You're putting words in people's mouth. Nobody is saying we want an open country. What we are simply saying is we don't want 2-year-olds torn from the arms of their mothers
and what's the
crying.
Of that?
The consequence of that is that we're going to have
more
2,000.
Sorry about that. What an idiot. Sorry.
I thought I'd take a little bit of
And you can come to my house and you can stay here as long as you want. I'll pay for your education. I'll pay for your...
It's not a false. No, yes it is. Nobody is saying that we want... No, let me say this. Nobody is saying... You're putting words in people's mouth. Nobody is saying we want an open country. What we are simply saying is we don't want 2-year-olds torn from the arms of their mothers
and what's the
crying.
Of that?
The consequence of that is that we're going to have
more
2,000 children who are going to have incredible damage, emotional damage. The consequence of that is human suffering. The consequence of that is Americans that are outraged at seeing American values being violated.
Put them in that situation.
Listen, it is the utmost hypocrisy. It is the utmost cynicism to quote scripture, the same scripture that was quoted to justify slavery, to justify that. And shame on any Christian that is doing that.
To be a country of value
and laws.
There is no law.
And look, the law that's in place now is the same law that was in place with the Obama administration, with the Bush administration, etc. And I've listened to former Attorney General Gonzalez under the Bush administration who said there is discretion and that clearly this government, this president has utilized his discretion to separate families. That's the values that he is putting on the American people. I think the American people and you, Senator, should stand up and say, no, when we have and we see something that is so horribly wrong, we're going to stand up and we're going to make sure that does not occur.
These parents, let me just one point. Yeah. These parents broke the law.
Okay, they did not break the law if they're seeking asylum.
They can seek asylum within the country that they have. They go to the embassy and seek asylum. They don't have to go 2,000 miles and cross the border.
Governor, let me ask you a question. Should Democrats be willing to give something in order to have this policy? Because that's what President Trump wants. He's using this as a negotiating tactic.
Yeah, but what they put on the table right now doesn't address this problem at all. What Paul Ryan's so-called compromise does not address this issue at all. Democrats are willing to compromise. We don't want total open borders, but what we do want is to be a nation that does have compassion. Rick, you have 7 children. If you were...
Oh, please, give it a rest. And therein lies the glaring hypocrisy of the left when it comes to immigration. We've seen the same thing exemplified among elitist Democrats who lobby against President Donald Trump's border wall, yet surround their own luxury properties with massive fences and 24-hour security. Moreover, their security personnel is always armed, even as they fight to restrict the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. Indeed, the hypocrisy of the left knows no bounds. Is as if they've never taken a long, hard look in the mirror and asked themselves, do I practice what I preach? Do I walk the walk, or I simply talk the talk? Liberals have never been real big on self-reflection. Not at all. Oh, please. Now they're making it an issue because they've got no platform for the Democrats. Now they're trying to pull at the heartstrings of people as if they give a flying crap about anybody. Give me a break. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.